Have you ever wondered how much it really matters whether or not a person believes in creation? Then this video is for you. In this video, we'll explore how to find out what the Bible says about whether or not creation is an essential element of our faith. Thanks for joining me today. My name is Henry, and I believe that the principles taught in the Bible are the only true key to success. And I'm devoted to providing tools to help you understand the Bible and practically apply its teachings. If this is your first video, click the subscribe link to join our family. And if you want to participate in our free online Bible study bootcamp, then click the link in the description box below. Some things don't matter very much. Picking friends or authors based on whether they prefer Coca-Cola or Pepsi, or whether or not they like reading red letter Bibles would be silly. Then there are things like whether or not Jesus is the Son of God. Now you can be friendly with people who reject this truth, but you can't have a deep friendship with them because your perspective on the world and truth would be so different. So, where does whether or not God created the world in 6 days fall on this list? Is it near the unimportant end, closer to the vital end, or somewhere in between? The only way to really know is to find out what God says about it himself. So, what does God say about how important it is to believe in creation the way the Bible tells it? If you haven't studied what the Bible says about creation for yourself, check out my last video, What Does the Bible Teach About Creation? Hebrews 11 verses 1 through 3 gives us a good initial look into God's thoughts on the matter. As you read these verses, ask how important it is to God that people believe the Bible's account of creation and why. Here are 10 more key verses talking about creation in the Bible. There are dozens of others, but these will give you a feel for what God says. And as you read them, pay attention to what they say about the importance of creation when taken together. What did you notice about what these verses say about creation and its importance? As you go back and study what these verses say about creation, consider the following questions. Even just from these few samples, how often does the Bible talk about creation? Which truths are related to creation in these verses? What promises are assured to us based on creation? And how would it impact the truths in these verses for God's assertions about creation to be false? What does God say about those who refuse to believe that He is the Creator? Now look at what God says about His Word in 2 Timothy 3:16 through 17, Psalms 35 through 6, and Timothy 1:2. Consider these questions. What happens to these claims if what God says about creation isn't true? How would you know what else in His Word is or isn't true? So based on what you've seen in the Bible, how much does it matter whether or not you believe in the Bible's account of creation? Now you're equipped with the answers from the Bible about the importance of believing in creation. Remember to be gracious to others who haven't studied it for themselves and encourage them to find out what the Bible says. Well, it's voting time again. Use the poll if you're in YouTube to select when it is most comforting to you to know that God is the Almighty Creator, and see what others are saying. Looking for more videos like this one? Click the link to the playlist and subscribe to the channel. And if you have a friend who's wondering about these things, they may never have studied what the Bible says about them for themselves. Invite them to study the verses you just looked at with you or send them this video. And until next time, stop reading and start studying.